Dr. Sudhir Krishna, this is not an accident, and neither is the Noida case an accident. Both of them, do you think, is the failure of urban governance?
Well, it is a failure of urban governance, no doubt. But we have to understand that in Delhi, the governance is a very complicated structure. It is not a normal state. So here, the state government and central government, they have also almost equal role in many ways. Now, in such matters, for example, the police is under the central government, and then the Jal Board is under the state government. And the two, you see, we talk of politics and so on. I think it is the whole framework is wrong, whether this a party or that party. That is not the issue. Issue is that is one. Secondly, the culture of governance, it is getting deteriorating day after day, year after year. Now, the officers are responsible for many things. Whatever we have seen here, by merely issuing circular, the CEO of BJP cannot be exonerated. You see, circulars are issued every day. One circular is issued, I think, on an average. So therefore, subordinate staff get immune to circulars. So the officers have to move around. You hardly find officers going around inspecting things. Those days are gone. Now everything is on WhatsApp and on YouTube and on Facebook and so on and so forth. But the officers have stopped moving around. So that is the second part. And third part is, in other channel I had appeared, and I think one of the panelists was also there. And I had mentioned that, you see, rules are very clear. It is a dereliction of duty and it is also crime. So for dereliction of duty under the conduct rule of the government servants, there is a penalty of variety of things. But and the very first action under that is to place under suspension, which has to be done. Now, not only executive engineer, the senior officers also, number one. Under the criminal laws also. Under the criminal laws, any negligence leading to grievous injury or death, it is a serious crime under 106 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. So the action has to start right away. And lastly, I would say that look at the behavior of the police. You have mentioned, but normally I find the police is filing complaint against the engineer, all right, or contractor. What about police filing complaint against the police itself? For example, they did not share location with the family members. They shared the location and deleted immediately. Before, you would have done great service. They were duty bound to facilitate location of the person who is missing, and they had the wherewithal. If they are not willing to share the location, neither they are searching, then is it not dereliction of duty? So I would say that there is no dearth of law, there is no dearth of provisions of law. It is a question of mindset to put people first. Otherwise, things will go on happening. We don't need any more laws. Very clear-cut laws are there. And lastly, I would say, since morning we are talking in the evening, I don't think so much inquiry of days together is required, at least to suspend officers, senior officers. Enough time. Suppose morning we were discussing at 8 a.m. I can understand. We are discussing at 8 p.m. Enough thing can be checked out. You see, barricading doesn't mean light barricading. Barricading in the night means that you cannot go. It is not that you put a signage which cannot be read.
Sir, if it was in the broad daylight, a person would have easily identified that there is a pit and he would have avoided taking that path. But this has happened in the dead of the night, almost midnight, when, you can't really see anything on the road, especially if it's not well lit. And in this case, there were no barricades, there were no reflectors.